your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, brought to you here on Blog Talk Radio, where we discuss the topics that inspire entrepreneurs from thought to action. Now, if you came in at the top of the hour, guess what? This is our regularly scheduled broadcast, and what you were listening to was a show with Mr. Lynn Geralt, where he had the opportunity to interview my co-host and partner here at Blog Talk Radio, Mr. John Cruz. However, today, right now, live on your radio, I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Mr. Bertrand McHenry, and Bertrand is the president, CEO, chief Jerpa, head guru, chief bottle washer, and all things important at the Referral Institute of Houston. And so I want to allow you guys to listen to Bertrand, and he's going to introduce himself. And guess what, folks? We have a fantastic guest on the show today. I'm going to introduce her in just a moment. If you're watching us on Ustream.tv, you you're just joining us, get a pen, a piece of paper out, because you're going to absolutely want to take some notes on today's show. And let me tell you why. I'm sitting here without John Cruz. John is off today doing whatever it is John Cruz wants to do. And guess what? I have Bertrand McHenry here and the lady in red. I'm going to give you her name, I promise. And I'm going to give you information on how you can contact her. Not to worry, guys. But I want you to make sure that you have your pen and paper handy, as you should always do that when you are listening to Cruz and Hughes live here on Blog Talk Radio. Now, if you want to join in the conversation, you want to give us a piece of your mind, only give us a small piece because you want to keep the rest for yourself. You can give us a call at 347-847-3958, and that's 347-847-3958. If you're too shy to come in and on the show live by calling in, you can join us in the chat room, and we have our producer extraordinaire, Mr. Stephen K., live on the line in the chat room. He's monitoring the chat room, so if you have a question or a comment, certainly you can feel free to post it there. Bertrand, my friend.
Irv.
What are you up to?
Wasn't that a good meeting we had earlier today?
Oh, my God. What a fantastic meeting.
We had a great one-to-one and talked a lot of business, but I just want to say this. I really appreciate the introduction you gave me.
Sure.
You left out Emperor of the World.
Emperor of the World. Sorry.
I just like to see that added at the end of that. That always helps me a little bit, helps my brand.
Well, you know, Bertrand, you're so shy and introverted. And I try not to oversell you.
Well, I appreciate that because I am shy and introverted. But we're good networkers.
Yeah, we're good networkers.
And good business people. So I'm excited about today's show. I'm really excited because we've had this guest on, the lady in red, before, and we wanted her to come back so bad we scheduled her before the last show.
That's right.
To come back today.
Well, you know what? And let me tell you what. It's not often that you can get two business resources at your fingertips like we have on here today. And, wherever you are, John Cruz, I hope you're jealous, because I'm here enjoying this. And let me tell you what, John, I have on a tie today. And those of you who watch our show on Ustream.tv, don't forget you can go straight to cruzandhughes.com and you can view us live there and see what all we're doing when we're going to break. I'm not sure why you watch that, but many of you do.
Well, they want to go back and see the times you didn't wear a tie.
Well, that's exactly right. Well, people who will listen and watch our show, they know that it's the end of the day for us here in Houston, Texas. And for those of you around the country, all of my West Coast friends who chime in, especially from the chat room, those of you guys know that you're still in your business day, but here in Houston, we're done with our business day, so I rarely wear a tie. But I was visiting with my good friend Bertrand here earlier today, and I thought I better get on point because he and John Cruz are so incredibly dapper when they go out, and somewhat, I just feel somewhat underdressed when I'm around them. So, Bertrand, before we get going, tell folks a little bit about the Referral Institute.
Yeah, I mean, Referral Institute is a training organization. We teach business owners, in a nutshell, how to develop referral marketing strategies. We customize them so that they can lead to a predictable and steady stream of personally recommended business.
That's awesome.
Referral marketing needs to be a hard-edged economic driver so that you can count on it, predict it, forecast it. When you do that, it makes all the difference in the world.
Well, you know what? I'm thrilled about the work that you do over there because, folks, let me tell you what, in tough economic times, you better get ready and you better figure out how to get really savvy about identifying your market and then recruiting those market allies, if you will, to advance your business agenda. And that's exactly what you will learn how to do with the Referral Institute. And more importantly, understand how to monetize monetize those relationships and develop that into a measurable, quantifiable plan. And that's the big thing about the Referral Institute. So, Bertrand, really excited to have you co-host with me.
Excited to be here, yeah, especially with this guest today.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes.
So how should we introduce the lady in red?
Oh my! Well, you just did it.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's her brand, though. I wish it. I really wish. You know what? If you're listening to the show and you're not on Ustream.tv or you hadn't gone to cruisandhughes.com, do yourself a favor. Go to cruisandhughes.com right now. Click on the live stream there, and so that you can see Miss Laura Morales, who is in studio with us, the lady in red, and want to say welcome to the show, Laura.
Thank you so much. It is great to be here. It's just a fun experience when I'm here, and so I'm just delighted. Thank you.
Well, you're very, very welcome. So let me tell you now, you've got some talking points that you're going to share with our audience about branding, right?
Correct.
And you're going to share a little bit about, how small businesses can go about branding themselves. And I hope that we have some tips for them that might be, I don't know, cost effective, I guess. And so we want to cover the range today. And so I'm kind of setting this up because we're going to want to talk about folks who have a budget and folks who maybe don't have a budget, and perhaps share on both ends of the spectrum, Laura, what some of those things are. Okay.
Great. Sure.
All right. Super. So now, Laura, tell me a little bit about your business, who you are, what you do. I know you're here in Houston, but I don't want to steal your thunder. So let's rock the house.
All right. Well, thank you. Well, yes, my name is Laura Morales, a.k.a. the Lady in Red. And the name of my business is Energize Your Outlook. So my focus is really helping business professionals learn how to come out of their shells, learn how to network, and really thrive in their careers. Present themselves with confidence, because I've started to realize, and this happened, I guess, 3 or 4 years ago, that something that's really lacking is whether they're small business owners or corporate professionals, they lack the confidence in coming across very confident and feeling that they can hold their own.
Sure. Well, now let's talk about that, because you bring up such an interesting point about business professionals. And Bertrand, jump in right here, because I know you deal with professionals also, and so do I. Those of you who know who we are and what we do here at Cruz and Hughes, of course, I'm in finance, so I deal with all kinds of professionals. But I have to agree with you, Laura, that I run across quite a few professionals, and for whatever reason, they're inhibited. I don't know if they're afraid to sort of deploy who they are, or maybe they think someone's not going to like them, or I'm not sure what it is, but I run across quite a few people who are inhibited about branding themselves.
Yes.
They're quick to identify with a brand that's the company, but branding yourself, your style, your persona, you.
Yes.
Many people are inhibited about that, and I don't know how can an accomplished professional be nervous about branding themselves? What's your take on that?
I would say 2 things. I think on the one hand, it comes from a mindset of, I don't want to be a showboat and really be out there so much. So there's, I guess, this reluctance to creating the persona that, look at me, look at me. And then on the flip side, it's also something that you said, which is, oh my gosh, if I do step out, maybe people won't like me, or maybe I don't like myself enough. And so I'm worried that, gosh, if I don't feel good about me, other people are not going to feel good about me.
See, to me, that sounds selfish.
Yeah, explain that. What do you mean?
What I mean is, it sounds selfish because here's the thing. John Cruz and I get into it big time, and I'll share this little story, and you guys can chime in on what I'm talking about. John and I have been on radio together on the air for quite a while, and not too long ago, in the not too distant past, John wanted to broadcast our show via video. Now, I happen to think that I have a face for radio. And
That's where we're chiming in.
And so John has a face for television, and if you know John, he's a handsome brute, let me tell you. But here's the thing, it's okay for John to be on television and in front of a camera, but not for me. And I had to literally deal with this being in front of a camera because of what I thought of myself. But I really believe that the information and the experience and the tools, strategies, and resources that I have to give to small businesses to help them grow was way more important than my being worried about what somebody's going to think because they're going to see me on camera.
Yes.
Some people are going to say, well, Irv's bald. Irv's blind, Irv's overweight, Irv's black, Irv's whatever. But here's the thing, and I thought all those things, Laura, but the truth is I had to overcome all of that because what I really wanted to do was help small businesses grow. And to me, I'm every time I'm in front of a camera, I feel like I'm throwing myself on a grenade because that's not what I want to do. All right, but my objective is to give.
Right,
that's the point.
And that is the point. And how great, really, to see the bigger purpose.
Sure.
And that you're the messenger, basically, and not worried that, oh God, the messenger's going to mess up.
That's right.
Because it's really what you have to give, what you have to deliver, that's much bigger than what you see yourself as. And congratulations. I mean, I think that's phenomenal.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I've heard her speak on that subject before, and I mean, you're really big on teaching people the mechanics of how to walk into a room with confidence and move around and negotiate the room with confidence, even though they don't necessarily feel it at the moment. You teach, and we can talk about this more after the break, but you teach a lot about how do you use your body to give you confidence as you walk in? Because I've heard you talk about that before.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you know what? I know for a fact that you do that because you made me feel better right when I met you. And that's one of the things that you certainly do. And certainly I want you to expound on that when we come back from the break. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by Sales Nexus. Let me tell you what, folks, if you need a customer relationship management system, you want to go right now to salesnexus.com, download your free trial copy. We use it here at Small Business Today Radio. And let me tell you what, it is a fantastic customer relationship management tool. It even gives you the opportunity to populate your new customer relationship management with new system with brand new leads. So stay with us. We'll return in a moment with Miss Laura Morales right after this.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
Light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? And my answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Welcome back to the show, folks. If you're just joining us, this guy is not John Cruz. This is my good friend and co-host Bertrand McHenry, and we're live in studio with Miss Laura Morales, the lady in red, and we're talking about branding, and we're talking about if you're a professional, we're talking about overcoming yourself so that you can deploy your gifts and talents to the benefit of others. And really, I sort of shared a really candid inside story. I do that occasionally here on Cruz and Hughes because it can help people who are worried about such things. But today's show, folks, is about branding, and not only branding your business, but branding yourself in the business. And so I wanted to go on and talk about, in this particular segment, not only branding, but if you can give some tips, Laura, about how can a business owner with a big budget or a little budget brand themselves, or does that have anything to do with branding?
I would say yes, because it determines how much are you going to spend if you're going to spend a lot or not. Maybe
Sure.
you don't have it. But I think one of the main things is to really think about, who do you want to be?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, number one, who is it that you want to be? And I do a lot of visualization. So for me, I visualize a lot about how I'm going to look and how I'm going to behave, because as a child, so I'm going to share a little story. As a child, I really grew up like a little soldier. My mom was extremely strict, and I never was really a kid. We were always adults, all of my siblings, and I'm the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
But the great thing is that now, even though, yes, I'm a professional speaker, and that I conduct myself professionally, I have an opportunity as a speaker to, as my previous speaking coach would tell me, turn up the volume and let me be me.
Sure.
And so I think, one, you have to determine, what do you want to be? Who do you want to be? And then what's it going to take? And so again, it's kind of looking at the end first and working backwards, and then also trying to find resources that are going to fit in with that path that you're going to go to get to where you want and to be who you want.
So, Laura, you're saying that one of the keys to this is sort of pre-playing in your mind, I guess, who it is you want to be.
Yes.
And now some people are reluctant to even do that. Now, here's the thing. In your mind, there's nobody in there but you. right? So I would think that's a safe spot. I mean,
hopefully. Yes.
I mean, is that something you do, Bertrand? Do you do any of that, or
4 out of the 5 voices in my head don't like it when I do that? So
the 5? Oh my God! You need medicine, dude. Wow.
I think they make.
But yes, absolutely. And something you might not know about Laura, she teaches this branding and this type of networking at Rice University.
Oh, well, you know what? She didn't say anything about her
I know she did.
credentials.
She's
Yeah, well, the lady in red.
The lady in red.
So tell us about that, Laura.
Well, so the lady in red does teach a class at Rice University called The Art of Networking. And a lot of what I teach is about feeling comfortable with yourself so that you can approach a new person. You can go to an event. You can talk to the waitress at the grocery store or at the diner and feel good and not feel so inhibited about, oh my God, I look this way or that way. The other thing that, again, I'll just say from my credentials, I'm a certified professional behavioral analyst.
A certified professional behavioral
analyst.
How do you say it?
Behavioral
analyst.
CPBA.
Okay.
So I'm not a psychologist, but I have done and continue to do a lot of work in behavioral styles. I'm a big observer, and I love watching people, but I really enjoy watching people watch other people.
So you watch people watch people.
Correct.
Well, that's fantastic, because I guess you would learn quite a bit watching people operate and interact with each other without them knowing that you're paying attention.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I get that.
And a lot of what I observe sometimes is vocal. That's listening or hearing somebody, and a lot of times it's just watching the body language, and that leads to a lot of, well, what do you think about yourself, and are you behaving the way you want to be perceived?
Sure.
So to me it leads into a lot of, yes, this is what I do. I teach a lot about how do you get to connect with people, and how do you make somebody feel like they are the only person.
Well, and see, that's something that you just do, because when I met you, you made me so comfortable, like, immediately. And and the same, there are people who really have that skill or talent or gift, if you will, to make others very, very comfortable. Now, part of that too is that, I'm a little bit of a bug about meeting new people, because I just like meeting new people, because, that's how new people educate me.
Right.
Because, a lot of people get intimidated when they get around people who they think are smarter than they are. And I'm attracted to that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I love about Bertrand. Bertrand is a brilliant man. But what's cool is he doesn't make you feel like an idiot. You can talk to him 5 minutes and figure out, okay, he's probably smarter than you, but he's
brilliant.
But he's brilliant. But he's smart enough not to make you feel inferior or something, and that's one of the things I love about him. In fact, our friendship just sparked immediately, because he's like that.
Yeah.
He is.
Well, for a number of reasons, but I agree, it sparked immediately. And I love where you come from in networking and behavioral analysis. You use the DISC, the DISC assessment to find out what behavioral style people lead with and what they mask with in certain situations. And tell us about why that's important in the marketplace.
It's important. So the tool that I use, as Bertrand mentioned, is called the DISC, and the acronym DISC stands for Dominance, Influence, Steady, and Compliant. And as he said, it talks about the type of style that you lead with. In the marketplace, it's important, because whether you are a small business owner or whether you work in corporate America, when you go to request something or deliver something, you deliver it typically from the style that you're most comfortable with, the one that you lead with. And that might be in direct conflict with the person on the receiving end. And hence you set up this lovely conflict. But through some observation and, again, through listening and really asking questions, you can learn a lot without having to impose yourself on somebody.
Now, are people skilled at asking these kinds of questions, though, or do you teach people to ask these questions? Okay.
Correct. It's not. Sometimes people will, just because they're just naturally curious. But
yeah, see, that's me. I'm just naturally curious. When I meet somebody new, I really am genuinely interested in them, because I do want to know about them. I do want to know how they arrived at this place in their life or this particular time. I am interested in that. Yeah. So now let me ask you this, because this is one of the things that sort of jumped out at me during the course of our conversation here. You're the lady in red. How did you become the lady in red?
Okay, well, I'm going to go back a little bit to who do I want to be or what do I want to look like? Okay, well, my favorite color is red. And so it started out with not even realizing, but typically when I go into a clothing store, I am drawn to the reds. It just happens.
Sure.
And as I started really thinking about, well, gosh, I wear red very often. And I do have other colors, black and white, but there's always red. And as I started really, I say performing, meaning I'm either speaking or I'm doing training, I'm typically in my red outfits, a red suit, a red blouse, red shoes, something's red. And to my clients and my colleagues, now what happens is when I appear in something else, they go, wait a second, you're not in red.
Yeah.
And so
what's wrong here?
What is wrong here? And now I make it a point, though, when I am going to speak or when I am doing training, that I have red on.
Okay. Well, you know, I appreciate you sharing that, because all of us probably have something that we should be branding. You know, I was thinking about, while you were talking, I was thinking about Elton John. Can you imagine Elton John without glasses?
Right.
Correct.
Exactly.
You know,
it's part of his brand.
It's absolutely part of his brand. And I think if I saw Elton John, I would not know who he was immediately without his glasses.
Right.
He's the same guy, but that's part of his brand. That's
part of
iconic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by RingCentral.com. To get RingCentral's virtual PBX for your business, you can give them a call today at 888-716-5022. Stay with us. The education continues right after this.
Are you looking to DanCuney.com or give them a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Welcome back to the show, folks. If you're just joining us, we're here with the lady in red, Miss Laura Morales. And guess what? John Cruz is out of the studio today. So guess what? He left me with the keys to the store, and I'm having a blast. Now, listen, if you want to join in the conversation, you can give us a call at 347-857-3958. Go ahead, give us a call. Jump in on the conversation because we're having a great conversation talking about branding, talking about presenting yourself, deploying your gifts, your brand, and branding your business. Now, Bertrand, when we went to break, you and Laura were kind of talking about some instances where you guys kind of had some interactions, some conversations about how she became the lady in red and that sort of thing.
Right, and it's my fault.
It's your fault.
The fault of her clients, because we had met. We set up a series of one-to-ones over breakfast over a period of 6 or 8 weeks. And every time I met her, she was in bright red something and everything. I mean, it was maxed out. It was earrings. It was necklace. Remember, it was jacket, dress. All of it was red. And I said, you should be the lady in red. You should absolutely be the lady in red. And you could market yourself around that. So I started calling her the lady in red. I'd introduce her as the lady in red. So blame me, folks. It's kind of my fault for doing that. I think it's a perfect brand because it's, red is bold, it's confidence, it's it's energetic, energize your outlook, that kind of stuff. Red is a perfect color for that, so it meets a lot of those needs. I think it's whether she's going to run with it or not, I think it's an excellent brand.
Well, that's awesome. So now, how did you take that when he said that to you?
I took it as a huge compliment, and it was interesting when he said that. I said, "Oh wow!" I said, "Well, thank you," because to me, my image, it's not necessarily that it's me in the red, although that's what I do picture, but it's that girl, it's that woman,
right?
That one that made an impact, that made a difference, and so for me, it just happens to be that it's red for me. It could be green for somebody else, but the lady in red to me connotes that girl.
Sure, gotcha. So Laura, while we're here, let's talk about some of the points, if you will, because you sort of have a strategy about this. Now, is it 4 Ps?
Yes, well, I call them the 4 Ps, but as far as the branding, so first, in terms of what's the package, what do you offer? I do a lot of motivational speaking, a lot of rah-rah, and get people hopefully pumped up and do some funny things.
Sure.
But what do you offer? Do you speak? Do you sell products? Do you sell services? What is it? And then secondly is, well, how do you present yourself? For me, I'm a very visual person. And of course, the red plays a big part in my life. So not only will you see me when I'm either on the stage or conducting a class in red, you will also see my marketing materials, my website. I'm wearing, again, the same color. So from a consistency standpoint, it's really important that that brand be consistent so that other people would go, oh, yeah, I know that lady.
Sure.
And then when you present yourself, are you confident? Are you comfortable in your own skin, regardless of what you look like, what you sound like?
That's a biggie.
Are you comfortable? So when you present yourself, do you sound like you're good? You feel good about you. And it comes from within.
Sure.
And then lastly, I like to think of it in terms of performance and positioning, is that when you perform, what's your track record? Many times your reputation precedes you based on your last job, if you will, or your last engagement. How did that go? Who was it for? Who were the people that listened? Who was the audience, the clients? Would they say that you performed well? What would that perception be? And then lastly, how do you position who you are? Based on who you serve and amongst your competitors, we all like to say we need to be unique so that people will remember us.
Sure, absolutely.
And yet, we want to be unique, but we want to be relatable.
Mhm.
We want to provide just enough of an incentive for somebody to be attracted to you, to want what you have, whether it's what you sell, what you, again, promote, but they want to have a little piece of you.
Now, Laura, let me ask you this, and Bertrand, jump in here. Can a person really reinvent themselves? For example, let's say, a lot of people came out of 2008 and didn't fare very well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they lost a business. Maybe they've lost a lot of confidence, things like this.
Yes.
Had a rough time.
Mm-hmm.
And now they want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But now they have a confidence issue.
Mm-hmm.
Can they, people may have known them when they were up.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've fallen off the wagon.
Right.
Can a person reinvent themselves?
I think absolutely that has to be the case that you can. Otherwise, life has to have do-overs built into it. It's part of the fabric of life.
Sure.
And I know that Shakespeare said, assume a virtue and it's yours.
Mm-hmm.
Act confident, behave confident long enough, and you will start to be that.
Right.
So I think we agree on this. I mean, we've talked about it before. So what do you think about that?
I wholeheartedly, because I think, again, I'm kind of the visual, but I've heard this before. It's not mine. If you can see it, you can be it.
Oh, that's
you
good.
You just have to.
That's good.
If you can see it, you can be it.
That's good.
You heard it first here.
So, and you have to be able to see yourself in the role or as the person that you want to be.
Yes, correct.
First.
And then starting to believe it, because you're the only one that can make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I say you're the only one in here.
Right.
But I also feel like you were saying that, well, maybe you've fallen off and, oh my God, you've lost a business. Well, then I think it's important that the people that you surround yourself with be supportive of you and encourage you, but challenge you.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. In talking about this whole thing about reinventing, John and I share similar backgrounds. Both of us come from finance, and both of us took the ride in 2008, but yet here we are, and now we're on radio. So we reinvented ourselves. We came back. We bounced back from it. And fortunately, there are a handful of people who learn how to bounce, and then some people go splat. And,
See, I'm a visual. That's like, yeah.
And, it's interesting because I'm one of those kinds of people who had to learn to bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Early in my professional career, I would go splat all the time and, kind of come down on myself and the whole thing. And now what I've learned is that just about everything you experience in life, whether it's positive or negative, and especially if it was negative, if you overcame it, that becomes your credibility.
It does. It totally does. Yes.
Do you get that?
Wholeheartedly believe that.
And so I'm actually kind of weird now at my age now, because now I'm almost inspired by it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you didn't knock me out. Knock me down, maybe, but you didn't knock me out. And there's a confidence. Absolutely. There's a confidence that you get as a result of getting, as I tell my children, when you take a punch and it takes you out of the ring, down onto the scorer's table, off on the floor, and under the front row, and you're able to climb back into the ring. Boy, there's a huge amount of confidence that comes.
There really is. There really is. There's a lot. Battle scars are important.
Yeah, you have to have them.
They're part of the story of your life.
That's right.
Because if you just sailed through, what would be the point of? You don't develop anything by that. You grow through the adversity.
Sure.
And if you just refuse to do one thing, and that's not give up, you're always going to win.
Sure, absolutely. Now, Laura, we're getting ready to take a short break here. We're going to be in the last segment of our show, and I want you to give some information to our listeners about how to connect with you. Your website, your phone number, email, all that stuff when we come back. Okay.
Super.
All right, folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by DirecTV with over 285 channels and NFL Sunday Ticket. Packages start at just $29.99 a month. Sign up today by calling 888-344-9296. Don't go away. We're in the home stretch. More with Laura right after this.
With anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com. Or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is?
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? And my answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Welcome back to the show, folks. We're here with Laura Morales, the lady in red, and we've been talking about branding. We've been talking about overcoming some of your issues that might be holding you back or keeping you from really experiencing the best that you could be in developing and establishing your own personal and or business brand. And if you're in a small business where, guess what, you're the key person, you're the driver for that business, your brand could be your business's brand. Mm-hmm. But Laura, when we went to break, since this is our short segment, I really want you to share with our audience some information about how to reach you, how to connect with you, how to get questions to you, all of those good things. So go ahead and do that.
Okay, thank you. Thanks very much. So to reach me, you can reach me via email at Laura, L-A-U-R-A,
mm-hmm.
at energizeyouroutlook.com.
Okay.
That's via email. My website, of course, is energizeyouroutlook.com. And by phone, 713-385-1013.
Now, you're here in Houston. Do you work with people all over the country?
I do.
Okay.
West to east, East Coast to West Coast.
Now, how do you do that? Just by phone, or do you go to meeting, or what do you do?
Yes, I go. I've just got a couple of keynotes on the West Coast for April coming up. I'm excited about those. And so I travel in person, and I do a lot over the phone as well.
Now, do you have a website where people can kind of follow where you're going to be next? Or?
Yes. On my website, there's an events page, and they can see in which I will honestly say I need to also do some updating. There's a couple of things I need to add, but they can go there to see what's going on. And then also February 27th, we're going to start our new class at Rice.
All right.
The Art of Networking.
All right. Very cool. And where can they find information about that?
That they can find through the Rice website, but it will be the 27th of February through April the 10th.
Laura, thank you so much for being on the show today.
It was great. Thank you, guys.
Oh, you're very welcome.
It.
Bertrand, my friend.
Irv, it was great.
Great again, man.
Yes.
Until next time, huh?
Absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
folks. Thanks so much for tuning in to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. I'm Irv Hughes. That's Bertrand McHenry. That's Miss Laura Morales, the lady in red. And guess what? Until next time, folks, be smart, be successful, but above all else, folks, be in action. And we'll see you tomorrow.